Recording has begun.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today is the 14th of November 2023. It's Tuesday, the 14th of November 2023. And I think the time is coming to be around about 5 to 4. And it's now been 98 days that my brother's been kidnapped from my care by the authorities, by the state, by the local authorities, by the police force, by the courts and tribunals, and it seems now evident to me by the judges, because I was looking to expose the fraud and corruption in this case that they've got ongoing now for maybe 18 months now. I'm at this stage. I can tell you now that all this, once again, as I was highlighting before the last entrapment hearing of the 17th of October, once again, I feel the fact that there's a clear entrapment taking place and that there's a clear danger to my life now, because the reality is that the courts and tribunal services know that they've been failing systemically and quite to a certain extent, and I feel at this stage, because I'm a lonely individual while they're a corporation, they look to target and victimize me because of their own systemic failures, and in order to cover that up, they look to target me now. So I'm feeling really endangered for my personal safety now, because this time next week a trap is being laid for me to be with something nefarious to happen. All the pieces are in place. They've got everything in place. The only thing that was a spanner in the works last time was me saying that I wanted to record the hearings. That obviously was a spanner in the works that they needed time to rectify. They've now found a way to rectify that by making an attended hearing to deny me my right to record the proceedings, because obviously they don't want me to record the proceedings because they know they're going to be committing fraud, deception, and corruption, and obviously they don't want to have a copy of that. And previously, when I've asked for a copy of, or when the judges even asked for the appeal judge Grosnell asked for a copy of District Judge Mitchell's hearing, they said, "Oh, it's gone faulty. We can't get a transcription." So you see how they work now. This just all fraudulent, and I really feel my life is now clearly in danger, because they are setting me up to fail. They have clearly orchestrated. They're looking at all the variables and making provisions for any kind of contingency plans. They had no contingency plan to the variable that I introduced, that I wanted to record the hearing 2 hours before the commencement of this entrapment. And District Judge Wilcox legged it from the scene, refused, saying that, "Oh, we need to have an adjournment in place." There's going to be no adjournment this time. It's going to be railroaded through to the local authorities' benefit, through the claimants' benefit who are being fronted to this. It's all fraud and deception and corruption, and I'm very alarmed and distressed, because every time this happens, every time the situation escalates, where I'm looking to expose the fraud and corruption, they do an act of malevolence that hurts and harms my family and destabilizes me. So every time I recuperate and look to be back at that position again, they look to destabilize me. That's what they did on the 8th of August 2023, when it was quite evident to them that there's a crescendo of issues that building up that was going to expose their corruption. So they quickly came and grabbed my brother and now holding him hostage. So you see this crescendo of issues are now once again building up, because they're not able to give me the right answers. I'm asking the questions. They're failing systemically and endemically, because all I'm doing is, well, why did this happen? How did this happen? What's the reason for this? Because obviously I'm being, I'm questioning them and making it quite clear that I don't believe anything that you're saying. You understand? You're all lying and cheating, manipulating. You've abducted my brother like this from my home without any recourse to anything other than, just falsehoods and lies and deceptions. My brother's life's in now danger. It's been 98 days that I have no idea where he is. They're holding him hostage. They've taken him away from my care and holding him hostage in some known facility. They're refusing to tell me where he is. They're refusing to engage me with daily conversations. They bought off the judges, the courts, the solicitors, the barristers, the claimants. Everything's bought off. All right, and it's all fraud and corruption, and it's all deceptive, and it's all to target me and try to get me out of this house, trying to make me homeless, trying to basically do me in, because I was looking to expose the fraud, corruption, and lies and deceptions. and as a consequence of this, I'm suffering. As a consequence of this, my brother's now suffering. As a consequence of this, my mother's been murdered. As a consequence of this, my brother Nazim's been murdered in 2014, and my father's been murdered in 2009. They continue to murder my family members in order to, destabilize me, in order to perpetuate the fraud and description that they're doing. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can't go to the police. I can't go to anybody. Can't go to the solicitors. Can't go to the barristers. Can't go to the judges or the judiciary. There's no independence. It's all a lie and a falsehood. They are putting me into this situation to destabilize me mentally, psychologically, torture me physically, or degrade and humiliate me. They're taking away all of my money and resources. They're simply railroading a narrative and an objective that's clearly to their benefit, and they're all working collectively. It's not the fact that they're all independent and working independently. They're all working together in a collective in order to target and victimize me, in order to target and victimize my brother, because they don't want to highlight and showcase all the failures that's happened. I'm very, very alarmed. I sense a great sense of foreboding and endangerment to my personal safety now, because they cannot deal with this. They've been in the background, they've been having meetings, they've been having discussions, and they're looking to silence me now, and they've been caught out in the lies and deceptions once again. They've quite clearly failed in achieving their objectives. They were going to quickly rubber stamp this thing through. It all failed, and it's just very, very alarming and distressing to me now that this situation is being orchestrated, where I'm asking for an adjournment. This hearing can never be adjourned to next week, because it's already been privately commissioned out. Bradford Council have already booked the courtroom. They've already got the bought off the judge, and they've already got the claimant to put in an order that they want a rubber stamp. In the background, the local authority, Bradford Council, are pulling the strings, and everything else is just a facade and a deception and a machination in order to achieve their objectives. Yeah, it's just very, very disheartening, because there's nothing I can do about it. They are basically lining me up to set me up to fail. They're lining me up, and they've obviously done everything in their power a year later to destabilize my position and defense by kidnapping my brother and holding him hostage and denying me the rights to see him, denying everything. And there's just really, it's a bad situation, made worse by the fact that the judges are complicit in this. The judges are hiding behind the corporate veil, behind the Ivy Tower, taking instruction from Bradford Council in the background to railroad an outcome that's only to Bradford Council's benefit and only to me and my family's detriment. And there's nothing I can do about it. And it just beggars belief, doesn't it? There's nothing I can do about the situation. And once again, I'm being staged. There's a crescendo build-up. And there's a failure on everybody's part. The judges, Judge Grosnell, Judge Mitchell, and Judge Wilcox, are all three of them colluding and conspiring in order to achieve the objective. Because Judge Hickinbottom last year was not enough. He withdrew his services. He said, "No, I'm not going to get involved in this rubbish." And so he withdrew, and then subsequently. It's all coming clear to me now how I've been how the things have been staged to set me up to fail. There is no case on their part. They're claiming unlawful trespass to a property that I've been living at since 2004, being the true tenancy holder. They kicked us out of the city. It's just basically, their case is just lies and deceptions, but it's allowed to go through. My case has the legitimacy, and they're told it's completely without merit. I'm just going to quash it here so it doesn't go any further, because I've been privately commissioned to do so. Oh, this is just getting so tedious now and boring, because there's nothing I can do. There's no legal argument that you can make when the judge is just going to quash everything. There's no procedural procedures to follow, because they're all procedural irregularities that they've created. So it's just a cacophony of failure upon failure on their part, but they still persist, because they can persist, because they're like a zombie case that just will never die off. It will always continue to be railroaded through. It has no life, but it's continuing to be put through because the local authority are funding it in the background to me and my brother's detriment, and at the same time the council are refusing to even engage with me. I'm sick and tired of this lies and deceptions I'm having that are being perpetrated against me, and there's nothing I can do about it, because they're in a position of authority and power and I'm not. That's just ridiculous. Let's just end it there. Allah Hafiz. I'm not looking to die. I'm not gonna kill myself. I'll ride it like a soldier, and we'll see where this takes us. Allah Hafiz.